What's up everyone, my name is Biku and I am here with AMD versus Nvidia. Now, just like a lot of the other videos that I've made that are quite controversial, this is going to be fairly similar. The argument of AMD versus Nvidia has been going on for years, and this is probably not going to sway you one way or the other if you are an AMD or Nvidia fanboy. But for those of you who genuinely want to know which is best, which there not really is a best all round, but if you want to know what's best for your use case scenario, then this video is right for you. So, if you just want to buy a simple GPU for gaming, there's no real best answer when it comes to AMD or Nvidia. If you have a lot of money to spend and you want to get the most performance possible, then you will have to go with Nvidia because they have the most powerful graphics card. Not that AMD doesn't have a very powerful graphics card. It's just that currently, at the time of making this video, Nvidia has the Titan X and a 980 Ti, which are at the top. But AMD does have the Fury X and the R9 Nano, which are really sorry, I was clicking a pen. Don't know if you heard that or not. AMD has the Fury X and R9 Nano, which do come very close, but not quite close enough. So if you just want to buy a really high performance gaming card, then you're probably going to end up going with Nvidia. But what if you want to get the most bang for your buck? Well, then you're probably going to want to go with AMD. Typically, you're going to get more performance, you're going to get more FPS per dollar going with AMD. So if you're on a bit of a budget and you are looking for a new graphics card, then just look up the performance of the two cards from AMD and Nvidia that are in your price range, and just look up their performance. And most of the time, AMD will have a little bit more performance, but it's not going to be that much higher. But if you want to squeeze every little bit out, then you're going to want to probably go with AMD. Now, when it comes to overclocking, Nvidia takes the cake here. Typically, you can get a higher percentage overclock out of Nvidia cards than you can from AMD cards. Now, I haven't really tested any AMD cards, but there are a lot of sources online that show what I'm talking about. Nvidia cards can boost up anywhere from, you can overclock them to anywhere from 14 or even 1500 megahertz, which is insane for a GPU. So if you want to overclock, then you're probably going to have to end up going with Nvidia. Now, if you are into VR, then you're also probably going to go with Nvidia because they have their VR ready components. So any Nvidia system that is VR ready, you'll be able to use the Oculus Rift. And Nvidia have their dual GPU rendering thing where if you have two GPUs, one GPU will render one eye and the other GPU will render the other eye, so that it just works out a bit better. So if you want to go with VR, then go with Nvidia. Now I know on some of these things there's a bit more I'm a bit more pro to Nvidia, and I'm not a fanboy. I personally have an Nvidia GTX 760 because that was the best thing I could get at the time with my money. But if AMD come with something that's better for less money than anything that Nvidia has, I would go for AMD if they have all the features. Now, something else is FreeSync versus G-Sync. Now, AMD FreeSync is cheaper than G-Sync because it does not require a special module for it to work, and any monitor vendor can make or any monitor manufacturer can make a FreeSync panel without having to be licensed from AMD. Whereas on Nvidia's side, the monitor manufacturers have to put in a G-Sync module, which variable frame rate is what I'm talking about. So if you don't know what that is, there are lots of videos online explaining what variable frame rate is and how it's basically pony dust or unicorn dust, sorry. I know technical terms when it comes to unicorn dust, but anyway. So if you want to know more about that, there's hundreds of videos online about it. I personally don't have one because I personally cannot afford one. And here in South Africa, where I live, I don't even think people are selling them. But maybe we'll get them in 2020, who knows. And if you're watching this in 2020 and you live in South Africa, post a comment. Tell me if you have a variable refresh rate monitor. So, as I was saying, Nvidia G-Sync panels have to be registered with Nvidia, which costs money. So G-Sync panels are going to cost more than FreeSync ones. So if you want to, sorry guys, my microphone cut out at the end of that video. Don't know what happened, but yeah, I'll have to fix that here. Can't exactly remember what I was about to say, but I think it was something along the lines of if you want to go with a variable refresh rate panel, then you're going to have to go with AMD for now if you don't want to spend as much for NVIDIA. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, and goodbye.